Allopathy is the form of medicine to decrease the symptoms. The allopath wants to know what your symptoms are and how he can decrease them. He's pressed for time, and he's really doing crisis medicine. Now let's look at Dr. House as an example of an allopath.
Hello, sick people and their loved ones. In the interest of saving time and avoiding a lot of boring chit-chat later, I'm Dr. Gregory House. You can call me Greg. I'm one of 3 doctors staffing this clinic this morning. Sure. To help you this beautiful morning.
How can I help you? What's wrong today? Do you have discomfort? What symptoms do you have? The MD is always starting with a negative mesmerism. He's actually planting a suggestion that you have to think what is negative in your body. So he starts you off with a negative thought and a negative search for problems.
I told the nurse I have a runny nose, but I don't. I think I have syphilis or gonorrhea.
I think I have an STD.
I think I have a...
Sometimes emergency medicine is needed.
Sore throat? Oh, it's not lupus. Well, not everyone can operate a zipper. You know, the up, the down. What comes next?
She has menstrual problems. They're really bad. The pain keeps her in bed all day. Plus, she's super depressed.
She said super depressed?
My asthma. They said they'd fix it, but it didn't make any difference at all.
Well, sometimes doctors make mistakes. Anna, you need to try twice as hard to fix them.
The little man has lost some bounce in his step. He needs to crank it up. Have himself some fun this weekend. He wants the blue pills.
You're talking about your penis in the third person.
Me and him. 2 people.
Separate vacations? That'd be a drag for one of you. Are you using your inhaler?
All the time. Go through 1 a week.
You sure you're using it right?
Do I look like an idiot?
No. Why don't you show me how your inhaler works?
When it was announced that 90% of all accidents happen at home, some people decided to move. It's actually true. And some of our patients really aren't so sharp. But getting them involved in negativity is a problem. But you have to understand, you see, with the medical doctor, the allopath, they're not trained to spend time with the patients, you see. They're really trained to promote drugs, and that means synthetic drugs. When the doctor says you must live with this pain, he's giving you a subtle suggestion that if the pain goes away, you might die. The doctors don't understand the power of their words in their diagnosis and how they have to tell you you have to take this drug and what that does to your life, and you then start to carry the diagnosis with you. And the thing that is said in most doctors' offices most of the time around the world, you're not sick enough for me to treat you right now. Go home, and when you get sicker, come back so that then I could find out what the problem is. Now, as Chalier taught us in our idea of accumulated stress being the real cause of disease, we see that in the second stage, that there is, the symptoms go away, but the disease deepens. In the primary, the first stage, we get the symptom, but then we adapt, the adaptation syndrome. So the biggest thing's ever been said in all of health is that being symptom-free is not an indicator of health. Being symptom-free is not an indicator of health. We can't build a medicine around symptoms. Now, when they get the blood analysis, you see here, the alarm state where the symptoms come in. Then we go into the adaptation state, okay? Then the body starts to get into the exhaustion state, okay? And the blood analysis doesn't appear until way late when functional and organic disturbances happen. You have to be very, very sick in order to find the disease in the blood. We cannot build a true health care around blood analysis. We can build a disease care, but not a health care. We need to have an earlier warning system. And the next problem with allopathic medicine is using synthetic compounds, because the synthetic is synthetic. To use a synthetic anything is an insult to the body. To get a patent, you have to prove that your chemical is not of nature. So thereby, synthetic is synthetic, and there's problems with this. In order to get a patent, you have to prove that your compound is not of nature. You made it. So we're going to have a proper medicine. We're going to have to start with lifestyle, deal with our SOC, suppression, obstruction to cure index, and then we're going to have to deal with the Nelson method, which outlined. Reduce the causes of disease, improve lifestyle, rebuild the organs that have been damaged and by the causes, unblock the blockages of flow, of energy, blood, detox, open up all the different flow through the chiropractic channels, acupuncture meridians, all of these things, let everything flow. Health is ease of flow. And treat symptoms only with natural medicine, not with synthetics. There's a time for allopathy. There's a time to treat symptoms. When we treat those symptoms, let's do it with nature. So we now see that allopathy is not a proper form of medicine. We need to get to a better form of medicine, a natural form of medicine.